8.3, slopes and intercepts. All right, so we have talked about this. This goes real quick, guys, so this one's going to be a short one as well. The intercept is where the line crosses, okay? And so we're going to have two different intercepts. Here I have a line drawn in my axis, and this line crosses the y-axis here, so at 0, 4, and it crosses the x-axis here at 6, 0. So this point here is where it crosses the y-axis, so it's called the y-intercept, and that gets its own special letter. We call it B. All right. Then we have this guy here. This is where it crosses the x-axis, so that's the x-intercept. So here, when we say that coming back to this y-intercept, which is at 0, 4, when we say that the y-intercept gets the letter B, that's because we just say B, and we say B equals whatever that number is on the y-axis. So for this graph here, B equals 4, because that's the number that the line crosses at. All right. Now, the slope of this line, we should be able to tell right away, is going to be negative because it's going downhill from left to right, going down. So the slope is going to be negative. And if I take my y-intercept and my x-intercept as the 2 points I want to look at for the slope, I'm going to do my slope formula. So I'm going to have my y2, which is 0, minus y1, which is 4, over my x2, which is 6, minus my x1, which is 0, right here. So that means that the slope is negative 4 over 6, and of course that reduces to negative 2 over 3. Now, I'm going to show you something. It's really cool. Okay, I know, I'm a geek, but I think this is awesome. This is what's called the slope-intercept formula, and it's always the same. It's always y equals mx plus b, no matter what. Y equals mx plus b. M is slope, b is y-intercept, or is the y-intercept. So, for this guy right here, I was given a graph. I figured out the slope right here. There's my slope. I figured out b right here, right? So if I know that this is the slope-intercept formula, I can write this guy, which is y equals negative 2/3. That's my slope up here. X times x plus 4, because that's my b. So right here, I have just written the function for the graph. All right, here's the graph I was given, and now I can actually write the function that describes it. I didn't need a table or anything. Now, we have done functions from tables. That was back in chapter 2, and you're going to want to dig up those notes and review them. That's what you're going to want to do. Hopefully you still have those. All right. Now, we can be given a formula. So here's a function, y equals negative 2x plus 5. So remember our formula, our y-intercept our slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Okay, write that to the side. So m in this case is whatever number is right before x, and in this case it is minus 2. So slope m is minus 2. Now I'm just going to write that as a fraction, as minus 2 over 1, and you'll see why here in a second. All right, but but the minus 2 and minus 2 over 1 are the same. My y-intercept, my b, is going just here. So that means that the b is going to be a positive 5. Why? Because it's a plus 5 there. So we have our slope and our y-intercept. So how do we do that? How do we actually graph this? Well, the first thing we do is we plot b. Well, b is 5, and we know it's going to be right on the y-axis. So I count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I plot the point there. So right there, that is b. That's my y-intercept. Now I'm going to use my slope, and right here is why I wanted to write it as a fraction. Because at minus 2 over 1, that means I start at b, and since it's minus 2, I'm going to count down 2 spaces, 1, 2. And it's positive 1, I move over 1. So that would be my next spot. Starting at that spot, I'm going to count down 2 spaces, 1, 2, and over 1. There's the next point. And from here, count down 1, 2, over 1. And from here, count down 1, 2, over 1. And once I get a couple of points, I can take my straight edge and I can connect those points into the line. So given this formula, I can plot it. So this line here is the same as plotting y equals negative 2x plus 5. So this is the formula for that line. So you use the b, use the slope to find other points, and then you connect the dots. Now, your Explore 3, this is talking about making functions from tables. And we did that. We did that back in section 2-4, so I want you to review this. If you have questions after you review section 2-4, come see me. I'd be happy to help you out. And then Explore 4, well, revisit the beginning of this video, because actually we started this video doing what they're asking you to do in section 4. So that's the end of 8-3. Your chapter 8 test part 1 covers sections 1, 2, and 3 of chapter 8.